I think it's interesting that if we really kind of, as a listener, so with our pillars of identity, strength, courage, and influence, our ability to handle the middle really isn't an attack on our comfort. Our comfort's the mask, how we're feeling. But really, if you get down to the heart of it, it's an attack on who you are. Because those voices are really saying, you are not capable. You are not fit for this. So you can, when you know you're something, you can kind of override your body. You can override different areas of your life. And if we understand what the mental war is really over, it will help. And to bring back to the garden from Matthew's account of Jesus in the garden when he's taken up 40 days, 40 nights. So he's at the place of absolute physical drainage, right? And here comes the voices. And if you listen to the first two temptations, if you really are the Son of God, do this. It's this attack on his identity to prove he's capable, or to say, see, if you really were that, you would do this. If you really were a runner, or you really were a salesman, or you really were, name the thing you're trying to call, you wouldn't be in this mess. You wouldn't be feeling this way. So those voices, I don't even believe originate from you. Now, I think we adopt them over time and they're a part of us, like, because we've absorbed them so long, we've been conditioned. But when you start breaking barriers, really, you're also breaking out of a false self and coming into the real self that you really are. And Jesus had to deal with this. And when his self at the very last temptation, the first temptation is to eat, you could do this miracle, turn the stone into bread if you're the Son of God. Thou shalt not tempt the Lord, or man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God. And the second temptation, hey, why don't you jump down? If you are the Son of God, his angels will take care of you. They'll care for you. And he said, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God. And I think when we read this story, we're thinking that Jesus is just sitting there chatting with the devil. Like the devil pulls up a rock and sits down next to him and says, Jesus. It's not really what's going on. It's the same war we have. I don't think he knows this voice. Like he's not sure. He's learning these voices. It's a voice that comes, a temptation comes. If you knew the devil was the one showing up, it would kind of put like a little bit of, we should probably check this conversation, right? It's this belief that you're saying it to yourself. And it's challenging your identity and you're drawing on something. So the courage, because this is why we talk about meditation. But the final one, Satan goes, hey, jump off if you bow and worship me, I'll give you all the kingdoms. And immediately Jesus says, get behind me, Satan. Like now he's rebuking him. What's he doing? He's standing in his identity against those voices. And we practice this. I'm not saying every voice that comes is from the devil. Sometimes it's just conditioning of thoughts we've absorbed from our family members. But if it's stripping your identity, it is being utilized to strip who you are. And in these moments of the mundane, when we're at the absolute crucible of truth, at the most exhausted natural place, if we listen, we start being told who we really are. That's what causes us to rise up in courage. And if you listen to God as a father, he is speaking, this is who you are. This is who you are. That's why it says in Romans 8 that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory that shall be revealed in us. In other words, that suffering, that feeling you are right now, isn't even worthy. Think about that. It's not even worthy to be compared what's being revealed in you, what's coming out of who you really are. This suffering doesn't even have the weight of comparison to what you actually are. And this is true in little things, big things, and eternal things. It's the same process all the way through. So I just want to encourage you too, is like when you're hearing that voice of quitting, even if it's on a run, if it's an exercise plan, maybe it's a weight loss journey, or it's just overcoming or just trying to add something new to your life and you're feeling those voices, that's not how God the Father speaks to you. He calls out your identity. He starts revealing your strength. Now you need to grow in strength. You may not have the full capacity, but he's not saying you can't. He's saying you can, and you keep moving forward and you keep moving forward. And pretty soon, in those moments, you start discovering who you really are. Now the world changes, right? Now, when we see Jesus leaving, now the world changes. So those moments, that's why we talk about meditation too. Just like a run, you have to determine your thoughts every single day, every single moment when you're walking through the day going, oh, I feel so tired. Why am I saying all that? Who am I saying that to? What excuse am I trying to come up with? Just either go lay down or be quiet. Like don't let it become a rustle that everyone else starts feeling the negative effects. You got to choose. And we can cast those things down by having a different choice of thoughts, which is really where you're talking about in all these events. And it comes from who you really are. That's why in the middle, you become revealed. You become known. It becomes truthful. You become the lie that you followed dies off for the real person to actually arise.